I am Al Cromie. I am the principal of Sacred Heart Catholic School in Warner Robins, Georgia. Relatively small school, 270 kids, preschool, 2-year-olds all the way through 8th grade. I'm a big structure person. And when I'm talking about structure, I'm talking about expectations too, to make sure that the expectations are very clear. So that's what I did. I continued on with the basic structure of expectations and then maintained consistency in what we were doing, whether we were at school, in the building or we're out of the building. So the reaction from our staff was very, very good, like really across the board. Was there a learning curve? Absolutely. It just became this is what we have to do. And by the structure that I gave them, the expectations that I gave them, a teacher can only email a family once a day. And then it had to look like what their normal in-school day would look like from kind of a tracking standpoint, and then like what they had to do in math or in whatever the case may be. We wanted the kids to understand kind of that similarity to the school day as well. It really kind of created this sense of, the teacher teaching, but we just had to ensure the delivery was happening. We're being pretty aggressive with the education. Kids families are talking about, studying 8 hours a day. And at first it was even more than that. We had to back off a little bit. We went to digital schooling. I just told them our younger grade levels, do not add additional platforms at this time. Keep it simple, keep it simple for the parents. Parents already have these logins. We already have that structure in place. Classworks specifically was the primary blended learning platform that we're using for 3-4-5. Saves teachers tons of time. As far as I'm concerned, gives a principal lots of less headache knowing that kid is learning where they need to be learning. They go through that every single day and make it all happen. During the academic year, our kids were on Classworks 3 to 4 times a week. If you'd see our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades teacher, daily email, you're going to see embedded right in there Classworks. It might be in math today and then in ELA tomorrow, but then there's 30 minutes that is assigned that they are tasked to be working on their Classworks material. When you have a tool or platform like Classworks, that is such concrete instruction and learning that can be taking place in there. And what the teachers are getting back, or they see on the other side of it, is what the student really knows. The instruction is there, which is solid instruction, and then the student can continue to learn. Is the 4th grader still having to learn through this time 4th grade math? Absolutely. But do they go back to their Classworks and then learn from the platform where they are? Absolutely as well. So it's kind of a dual mechanism that's happening, but I like it so much from blended learning concept because it is where the child is, and there shouldn't be that level of frustration or I don't get it or mom help me. The student knows how to operate in Classworks very effectively. Our teachers can view it, then they can obviously adjust accordingly. We know, do they need more challenge? Do they need, whatever the case may be. So that can be happening right along the way with the students, just whether we're in school or we're at home learning. In our diocese, we've already talked about is bumping up our NWA assessment right to very close to the beginning of the year versus like 3 or 4 weeks in. So we get the data right away because we're not doing NWA testing in the spring. Obviously, we're not in school. So we want the data real quickly, which then will be instantaneously into Classworks. And that's exactly where that kid is. That teacher knows exactly what did or didn't happen. And where they need to go and where the reteaches need to happen or teachers need to happen. We know there are going to be gaps with some kids. Each of our kinder through 5th grade classrooms is going to have an interventionist in their classroom for 30 minutes for math and 30 minutes for reading. So we're going to work it so that we ensure that we are catching Those kids that need the intervention right at the front end and all year long. This isn't just a COVID situation. We're going to do this on a regular basis. My big mantra to teachers was, are the students doing as well as they would as if we were in school? And if they're not, why? So we got to look at that. So then keep the grading concept within that as well. We have to have consideration for the human person, and really it's the human family and what their dynamic is. And then in kinder first and second, we have standards-based grading. So that makes it a whole lot easier with material that coming in or not. Are the kids working towards the standard during this fourth quarter? One example, we had to really back off on, the math teacher was assigning, 2 or 3 things a day. And he couldn't even keep up with all the grading of it. So I said, you got to teach, but then we just have to have one gradable. We understand it's going to go a little bit slower. There's going to be some content that they won't get to, and it'll be all good.